Well, it's official. Sarah has an official defense, and she's still showing out according to these inmate behavior notes, and we're going to talk about it in today's video. Hello, Sofa Squad, and welcome back to the sofa. My name's Paul. The sofa's name is Sofa as well. It's back there. I'm right here. Now, what we're going to do in this video is probably going to be a little bit of a short video. I've heard from a lot of you about these inmate behavior notes they keep posting. We've talked about these, but we're going to talk about it here. And then we have the official defense. We knew this was coming, but now it's like, here's what we're doing. Okay, so this is about to get interesting. It's about to get interesting. It already is interesting. So what we're going to do is just put a couple of things on the screen here and talk about it. Let's start with the inmate behavior notes, since those were a little bit previous to the update with the defense thing. So I'm just going to put the first one on the screen here, and we'll just start at the top right here. Now, if you've been reading these or following these or watching my content on it, you know basically all this is the cops, the deputies, whoever, they're sitting here making notes along the way and just documenting everything. And with somebody like Sarah, you absolutely have to be like, girl breathed wrong, okay? Because this is 100% CYA, 100% dot your I's, 100% cross your T's. So we'll see at the beginning of the first thing where it says inmate Boone received her 3 USBs. Same thing down below, and then it says in the next thing is she got her clear bag, she got the this, she got the that, the and then it goes down further talking about she returned the laptop, she did this, she did that. Now, the thing that we're getting at here is this, okay? Go down to the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th one down. This was 8:26 at 4:52 p.m. And it says, on 8:26 hours, I heard loud yelling from the hallways. Upon further investing, I realized it was coming from the briefing room. The briefing room was occupied by inmate Boone, Sarah, and it gives a number, and James Owens. Due to the loud disturbance, I entered the room and informed inmate Boone and Owens that they are causing a disturbance. Owens informed me that everything was good, that they had a little disagreement. After inmate Boone interview meeting, I spoke to her about retrieving a grievance form. Inmate Boone informed me that she did not need a grievance form. Very, very interesting. Let's get back to that in 1 second. Now you go down to the next one, or the last one I should say. She verbally refused breakfast. She don't like breakfast. Okay, the girl doesn't eat breakfast, right? Then the next page up here, the second one down. Due to standard operating procedures, ACA accreditation, our monthly shakedown was conducted. Inmate Boone was afforded the opportunity to utilize the laptop at approximately 21:26 hours, to which she refused. Okay, now who knows what's going on here at this point, but maybe at this point she knows she's gonna be working with this dude. Okay, this is on the 27th. But again, any times that she's refusing the laptop and work on it, I'm like, why? And in a normal scenario, I get that you might be like, God, I'm just tired today or whatever. But it's like, in this one, it's like, no. Absolutely not, okay? Now let's jump down to the last one here. August 30th, 2024 at approximately 11:58 hours, inmate Boone completed her interview and viewing of physical evidence. I conducted an strip search at the conclusion of the interview and escorted Boone back to her unit. Now, let's talk about this for a quick second. Or mostly the one about the argument. So yes, we talked about this in some of the live chats and stuff, about the argument and whatnot. And remember how James was saying that he did like a reenactment with her and basically spelled out and whatnot? So my guess is this: the fact that they were working together and they had these screaming matches, that gives you insight into what probably it was like with the other people that work with her, but they just were very quickly like, done, right? So I can imagine that he's sitting there doing this reenactment, and she's probably interrupting. No, you can't do this. And I can imagine him being like yelling, like, this is what it's gonna look like though. Now again, I have no idea what they were arguing about. That's just sofa speculation. But I could see her insistent need to be like, no, it has to be this. And the things that he said where it's like, well, we did a little, pretend play game and all this type of stuff. It's almost like you have to break that down to her in that way. So whatever it was that took place that they were yelling about, well, obviously it doesn't matter because we know that he's working with her. But he's also said, I too am afraid that she could fire me at any moment. Now for him, it's probably like, okay, you do you, boo. I imagine he'll try and make money in the long run off of this, so that part could suck to get, you know, for him to lose that chance or whatever monetarily. However, I mean, he knows she's a nightmare, you know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Let's talk about read it actually, the motion for the defense of battered spouse syndrome. I'm going to put it on the screen here. It says, come now, the defendant, by and through the undersigned attorney, under Rule 3.201, battered spouse syndrome defense of the Florida Rules of Criminal Procedure, gives notice of intent to rely on the defense of battered spouse syndrome and states, number one, at the time of the alleged offense, the defendant was suffering from battered woman syndrome. As a result of the physical and psychological abuse the defendant sustained at the hands of the alleged victim, Jorge Torres. Number two, Dr. Julie Harper will be a Category A witness for the defense in establishing this condition on behalf of the defendant. Number three, Dr. Julie Harper, forensic psychologist, Northwest Psychological Services, and it just goes into her little address there. It's signed James Owens. So, okay, so we found somebody to, you know, go along with the defense. Now, it looks like Julie has been a licensed psychologist since about 2002. And she has this practice there in Florida. It's going to be very interesting to see how this is framed. So now that we know, yep, 100%, it is official, this is the defense, we have a doctor willing to testify about this. So my next thing is, okay, so what's the evidence? Like, how are we going to establish this? Now, if you remember, the state was like, hey, we have our own people lined up in preparation for if they went this route. So they're going to have something to say too, obviously, right? And depending on what they show, I don't think she's going to be able to prove it. Again, if you go back to the video we did before, where we were looking at court TV and hearing what the professional lawyers had to say, and they all brought up the same point of like, hey, look, you know what? Yep, she's calling the police, she's saying this, she's doing this, she's documenting this, you know, abuse, if you will. But on that video, he's in the suitcase. She can get away. She's taunting him. It's about, you cheated on me. You did this. It's not the usual thing we see. And I'm not trying to say that all these situations have to look. If it doesn't look like yours, then it doesn't count. But in this one right here, I think it's going to be key. And I do not think they're going to be able to get up there and convince a jury. And I also think one thing that will take place is Sarah on her own, by just being Sarah, will basically make it where the jury cannot stand her probably by the end of the first day. You know, a huge part of this comes down to the vibe the jury gets off the defendant. And let's be honest, she ain't really that likable. Okay. So that's it. I don't think it's going to work. But again, I'm not a doctor, a therapist, a lawyer in that fancy stuff. So I don't know. I'm not credentialed except in SOFA and SAS. Okay, that's it. Only credentials. Okay. But I just don't think she's going to be able to pull it off. I want to see the evidence. I want to see all the documentation. Witnesses get up there. Yeah, she was lucky to be alive at the hands of George. I don't think she's going to be able to pull it off. So, let me know what you think down in the comment section. And if you want to, drop some little sofas out there for me and Roscoe in spirit to come hang out and talk about Sarah, Casey, Anthony, you name it, whatever we talk about here at the Sofa Squad. And until we meander our way down there to do it, I'll see y'all soon. I just wanted to say thank you again for watching the whole video, and also thank you for being part of the Sofa Squad. Special thanks to all the Patreon members, channel members from both of my channels, everybody who likes, shares, subscribes, comments in the comment sections. It helps the channel out so much. Now, don't forget, I do have that other channel, the podcast channel. That's where we go live, we hang out, we talk. We have kind of sort of a schedule, but just be sure and check it out. I'll put it up here on the screen. Also, if you're looking for merch, be sure to check out my Teespring store. I'll put that up here. And then, like I said in the beginning of the video, if you want to follow me and Roscoe on the Instagram, go on, check it out. It's right here on the screen again. But once again, thank you very much. I really appreciate you being part of the Sofa Squad, and I'll see you in the next video.